Intellectual stew. Intellectual stew with James Kirkland.
Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical,
Have you ever found yourself?
Are you dating for that person?
informative and
I feel
inspirational.
every bit of it. Like, I'm not trying to waste my
How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do.
Intellectual stew.
Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager.
Intellectual stew. Intellectual stew with James Kirkland. Intellectual stew. Intellectual stew. Intellectual.
All right, what's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirkland. And as you can see, we are coming at you live from a totally different set. I'm still here in the great city of Little Rock, Arkansas, and I guess I don't want to go home because I'm still here. I've been here about 2 weeks, and I know it's time to get back to the A. But since I'm here and I wanted to record tonight, we got a studio and we are here getting ready to record. So Monday Night Live, another episode of the Intellectual Stew. Let me say right now how appreciative I am of everyone that showed up on Saturday night. And Saturday night, we had our first podcast in front of a live audience. And on that night, we had a really, really, really good conversation. Well, we had several conversations, and it was simply amazing. If you missed it, you're gonna have to catch the next one. But what I want to do tonight is those of you who attended or who watched it, I want to see what you thought about it, and I want us to have a conversation about what your expectations were, what you thought about it, how all those types of things. So, but I do have my friend who's going to help me tonight. She came all the way from Orlando, Florida. Wait a minute, I see a few people in the chat, and I want y'all to speak. Say hello. Don't say hello. Don't y'all get me. I like to talk. I know y'all know how I talk. I like a talk back church. Give me a talk back church. I need y'all to say something back to me. Let me know you're there. Let me know you're listening from. Say live. Say something. Say cat, dog, boo, James. I can't stand you. Say something, but don't just sit there like on me like that. I need y'all to talk back to me. But my friend came all the way from Orlando, Florida, through train, plane, hot air balloon. She just had to get there soon. Hey, Ebony, how are you? And she came, and I want to get her thoughts. In fact, I'm going to ask her to co-host with me tonight through the show. But if you are in the chat and you did make it on Saturday night, come on, jump in. Come on, chat with me, and let me know what your thoughts were. All right, so let me pull Coy in. Come on. And what I just did was I just dropped the chat in the group. So anybody wants to come in, jump in. All right, here we go. Coy, hey. Say something. Now I can't hear you at all. Why can't I hear you at all? I can't hear you. Let's try to figure this out. Your microphone's not muted. Say something now. Hey, Lakeisha, how are you? My technical team, I can't hear Coy all of a sudden. Let me see that they're in the other room on me. Hopefully they'll come back in just a moment. Here they come. Corey, talk some more. Or go back out and come back in. Let's see if we can get it worked out because we can't hear you. All right, she went out and she's gonna come back in. All right, so what we're getting ready to do, guys, is we're getting ready to talk about the event that took place on Saturday night. We talked about the bonding of the sexes. The bonding, for far too often we hear the story or the sad story of the battle of the sexes. Like I told him the other night, I don't want to hear no more conversations about 50-50. I don't want to hear any more conversations about Cheesecake Factory. I can care less about Cheesecake Factory. I don't want to hear any of those conversations because those conversations are those, I think, that keep us divided. And so rather than be divided, I want us to focus on bonding. So no longer do I want to see the battle of the sexes, but I want to see the bonding of the sexes. Let's try to see if we can get Corey in here again. Corey, we got you this time?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay.
All right,
good
so
deal.
Corey came all the way from Orlando, Florida. Now, Corey and I have been co-hosting or helping me. She's helped me on the show. I don't really have a co-host, but one day I might. But if anybody's close to one, she probably is. But we've never met in person. Never met in person. We talk often. She's supported several of the things I've done, my projects, and she will come on whenever I need her. But this time I put this event on and she came. Corey, why did you come all the way from Orlando to
support you? I think I think what you're doing, James, is great. And it's not a battle that you're doing. You're trying to, what your title was, bond the sexes. There's so many shows out there, podcasts out there that are being debated, like the woman against the man or the man against the woman. It's all these debates or someone telling you matter of fact. I think your podcast is a little different. You're trying to bond us together and come up with a solution, which is very different than a lot of the other podcasts. So go ahead.
Yeah. You know my heart because we talk, and I appreciate
Yeah.
you for saying that. And sometimes y'all, Corey will have to articulate because she have to talk me off the ledge when y'all piss me off. To be honest with you, but she understands what I'm trying to do. What I've come to discover in these little 51 short years of living is that, what's up, Dawood? What's up, Carol? Is that there's not just one answer to everything, right? And capitalism teaches us that someone has to win and someone has to lose. So we think it's only one size fits all answers and all those things. But I think most of the issues that we deal with in relationships are relative. I said the other night that each relationship has its own individual fingerprint, but we find ourselves looking for a common solution to fit every situation. And I think that's setting yourself up for unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just like in medicine, people get infections and you have to do cultures. You do a culture to identify the organism in order to treat the organism. Every antibiotic is not going to fit every infection. It's going to be different ones that's going to treat it, and it's going to be certain ones that's going to be resistant to. So it's not the same.
Yeah, and I'm not a medical professional such as you, but typically if there's a sickness, you have to identify what the sickness is. Because if every time I've gone to the doctor, they ask they have questionnaires. They're asking you, are you allergic to penicillin? Are you allergic to this? Are you allergic to that? Because if they just gave you medicine based on your symptoms, then they could do more harm than good. And I think that's the problem a lot of times with relationships, right? Is that we look at certain symptoms and they look similar. So we throw just this solution on it and it doesn't fit. And when it doesn't fit, then we're frustrated. Then we're upset. Now all men are bad. Now all women are bad. And it's, and when really it's just sometimes bad choices. Sometimes it just was the wrong, whatever it was, but we got to go back and do it. So that's what we try to do. So tell me what you saw on Saturday night.
On Saturday night. Wow. First of all, the couple you had on there was a prime example of grace, understanding, patience, love, faithfulness. My definition of faithfulness is a little different than most. They were loyal to each other. Um, that couple is somebody that a lot of people need to hear from and see and learn from, because it's beneficial to a lot of relationships that have been broken, because a lot of people walk away, like you say, a lot of people want to amputate.
Yeah.
you know they didn't amputate, they healed, they decided to heal and stay together, and that was powerful with them and their story. I really enjoyed that.
For those that don't know, we had pastors Alfred and Roz Warren. They were our two become one ministries and their church, but they came in and they shared their truths. And honestly, if you were there, and you'll get to see it in a couple of weeks, because we're gonna release the the edited version. Yeah, you saw my raw version on my phone, but we're gonna release the edited version in a couple of weeks, and you'll get to see their truth, right? But when I approached them, I told them I saw a light shining about their relationship, and I asked them if they didn't mind sharing that light. And would you agree they shared it?
They shared it. They shared it. Oh my gosh, yes.
And you know me, I don't try to set people up. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to get
them.
because I could. You say what?
Get them.
Yeah,
You
no, I
told
ain't
them,
trying to
I
get
don't
them.
get my
Corey want to
people.
get them sometimes. I don't want to get them, but I don't set them up because I know they got to live together. So I don't want them to go home arguing over, because here it is, because a trigger came up, or something that triggered them from the past relationship, right? I don't want them to go home and that be on my account. So I just ask very general questions and broad questions and just let them start talking. And they started talking. And when Pastor Warren, and y'all pray for him, he's under the weather tonight because he was going to jump on and help us tonight. But when he started talking, when he said there was a time I broke trust, man, you could hear a pin drop in the room. I mean, it got quiet because we didn't know what was going to come next. And so for him to, and what I saw Coy in that moment, when he got ready to tell his story, I saw compassion in her eyes.
From his wife. Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh no, they're going to judge my husband. I don't want them to. He's going to tell us. I mean, and no anger, none. It was compassion, like, because see, when you're really seeing, or mess up like that, and repentance is necessary. Repentance is a 180-degree process, right? It's not a 360-degree process. You don't turn all the way around because you end up in the same position, but you turn away from it. You get away from the behavior. You don't repeat the behavior. And he said, I, as one who created the infraction, I don't get to tell her how long to grieve. That blew my mind. It blew my mind. He said I had to be accessible. My phone had to be available. Because she needed that space. And then for her to come back later and say, I'm not going to say I was 100% perfect in the marriage either. And so for those truths in that space, and to allow us to analyze and talk about it, and guess what? There's somebody who is considering getting married, right? And we're doubting that process and wondering if they could live again after that, and heard Pastor Roz's testimony, and that'll help them, as old folks say, that'll help them want to run on and see what the end gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Because they helped me that night. They helped me.
Yeah.
I had to walk off on that one, I think, for a moment.
Yeah.
So what else did you see on? And anybody else? Hold on. I have Alicia Allman, Lakeisha. Anybody else that's listening right now? I have put the link in the chat. So if you would like to jump in, let me put it in here again. If you would like to jump in and share what you heard, I really would like some people who were in that space to tell me what they saw and what they felt that night, how the situation blessed them. I would really, really appreciate that. Hold on, I just put let me put the other link. All right, talk to him. Talk to him some more, Corey. What else? What else did you see?
I saw a lot of bonding,
Mhm.
which was the reason for the show, which, like you said, people didn't judge. They kind of came together, gravitated together, and piggyback off of that. With we got into different things with Ricky. I like Ricky. Ricky,
Rick is good people.
yeah,
I like
he's
Rick.
cool people. He has different perspectives, but one thing that really stood out was our women um, perspective when it comes to men. One of the ladies said, "Well, men, they already know because we've heard this for a long time. When a man meets you, they already know what position you're going to hold, basically." And I've heard that several times, but we had a lot of men there and we wanted justification from the men. We wanted them to clarify this. Like, hey, men, is that true? And the majority of the men said, no, that's not true.
You know what?
That
And
was
I'm
a
glad.
shocker to me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, sweetie.
Mhm,
I'm glad you brought that up
mhm.
because in that moment when that young lady said, "Men do this," she said it like it was the gospel.
Yeah,
She said
yeah.
it like that was the truth. And then you said, "Well, do men feel that way?"
Hmm.
And every man in there said, "I don't think like that.
No.
I don't think like that."
Hmm.
And it's good. And it's good that you brought that up because so much confusion is based on misattributions.
Mm.
You can't, young lady, you can't think for a man, and just because an assumption is not actual.
Hmm.
Assumptions aren't actual. Assumptions are just assumptions, and just because you assume it, don't make it law. And
Hmm.
and that's what That's, I think Al Crater and I had a good back and forth today talking on in the inbox, and I
Hmm.
told him that I think community can really help create. Excuse me, conversations can really help. Communication can really help
Hmm.
create community,
Mm.
and that's what's missing is community. Old generation just they just used to talk. We ain't had TV and social media. Everybody's in their phones and all that stuff now. But we used to actually talk. We text now, and text have no tones and are often misinterpreted, right? Because we hear it based on our own personal experiences. And that's what has happened. And when that young lady said men think like this, and you
Hmm.
said, "Well, do men feel that way?" I mean, and I
Yeah.
appreciated you. So what made you? So is that something you see a lot going on, Corey?
Yeah, women and men, we can misinterpret one another. So my thinking is, if it's going to be about a man, allow the man to tell us about it. If it's going to be about a woman, allow that woman to tell us about it.
Yeah.
We cannot assume things that women do. We can't assume things that men do. I'm not a man, so I'm going to ask the question as opposed to assuming.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good. Women, do y'all agree? Do you find yourselves making assumptions for men and then operating in those assumptions as though they were law? Because at the end of the day, you nothing beats the power of understanding.
Hmm.
And the best way to get understanding. Oh, Phoenicia, jump in. The link is in there if you want to jump in. Because like I said, I want to know what you saw on Saturday night too. I want the listeners to hear from the people who were actually there. So Phoenicia Mosley, if you don't mind jumping on for a minute. Africa, if you're there, you want to jump on for a minute. Anybody that was actually in the building. You don't have to stay on for a long time. We don't have to have a deep discussion. Just jump on for a couple of minutes and let the people know what they can expect next time based on what you saw this time. Okay.
And I want
But
to say something about that.
go ahead.
I wouldn't say she was wrong. She wasn't right only because we heard from the men, but I wouldn't say necessarily say, oh, she was wrong
Okay.
because it's something that we've heard for so many years. I've heard that several times. I've never asked the question to a man, oh, do you really know? I just went with it. So that's the reason. That's another reason why I'm like, wait a minute. Can we hear from the men? Is that men? Is that true? Because that is definitely something I've heard.
And there probably are situations where she is correct, but it doesn't have to be the popular consensus.
Right.
That you
Right.
you you hear me say all the time that we love to put people in categories.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We love to put everything in categories. Love to put everything in, put it in a group. And we can't. Hold on. Avery's here. Let's get Avery here. Let's see what he saw the other night.
Hey,
Hold
Avery.
on. Mr. A jumped in there too the other night, didn't he, Coy?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Avery Thompson. What's up, baby boy?
Hey, what's going on?
I don't know it,
Hey,
man. How you
Avery.
doing, man?
There's that Coy.
Man, thank you so much for coming the other night. And bro, you know what was? I'm gonna tell you what impacted me more than anything the other night when I saw you, because you are right, man. I hadn't seen you before. You look, I knew you was gonna be dressed nice, your hair was gonna be combed and all that kind of stuff. But what impressed me the most, man, when you came, is you brought your queen with you.
Oh
You
yeah,
brought your wife,
yeah.
and
She
you shared with me in
enjoyed
the
it. She
past how
really
she don't like
enjoyed
going
it.
a lot of places.
Yeah,
You told me that in the past
enjoyed
that
it.
that's just not her thing to go to a lot of places. Even though she's an event planner, all those things, she just doesn't go a lot of places.
Right.
And you text me and ask me a really crazy question, talking about, man, do you mind if I bring my wife? Man, please. But anyway, but he brought her and she was involved. She smiled. She got, I could see it in her eyes. You know what I'm saying? So tell me what you
She
saw, Avery
confirmed a few
Thompson.
things.
What'd you say, Coy?
She confirmed a few things.
She did confirm a few things. And Avery
Oh
didn't,
man,
but you know what I like? Coy, you know what I like most about it though? Avery
What?
didn't act different when his wife was
He
gone.
sure did. He
Mm-mm.
sure did.
Nope.
Church say, man.
Look.
Avery act the same way with his wife there. Hey, that means a lot. I ain't throwing no
Yep.
shade, but I am a little bit. Go ahead.
No, she really enjoyed it, man. I mean, man, the whole vibe and the conversation was just so much on an intellectual level that it was crazy, man. And we need more of it. We really do need more of it. And there was so much for everybody, from singles, relationship. If you're in one, if you're married, I mean, you just covered a whole spectrum, of good stuff, man. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what was good, bro? And I just thought about this. Married people wasn't telling single people how to be married.
Right.
Single people wasn't telling married people how to be single. It was just everybody telling their story,
Right.
right? In their
Right.
situation. I wanted to get a little bit deeper in the panel as we talk about in the church. Roz and Alpha kind of shut the house down on us on that
Oh
one.
yeah.
So they gotta,
Oh yeah.
we got to either move them to the end or we got to get a real strong panel.
Yeah, they can't do no more opening.
No, man. And I'm just tell me some things as a individual who's been married 32 years. And I think Rosin said they were right about the same amount of time too.
Yeah.
What were some of the unspoken things, the body language? What were some of the things you noticed that showed you, Avery, that they have a strong bond?
Oh well, like you said, when they came up and how Alfred was gonna sit back, then he
I forgot about that.
switch real quick, and just the way they interact, and what's crazy is I've known Alfred. There's not a time I haven't known him. His late father and my late aunt, who my uncle married, were married, and our families just blended in so much, and I've just known him. And then when she got into the picture, man, the way they are is the way they've been, and
Wow.
it's almost like they know each other so well, and they click so well. If one takes a step with the right, the other one's gonna move with the left. They're so in sync with each other, and man, it's really a good testament. And to know what they've been through, and to still be solid, man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And I used it for those that weren't there. I used the analogy the other night of Christ after he had came back, after he ascended from the grave, and the disciples didn't believe that he was who he said he was. So the way he proved it to him was he showed him that, what Thomas said, because you're always gonna have some people who doubt.
Right.
And Thomas said, I'm not gonna believe except I see the nails in his hands, or I see the prints in his feet, right? So he said, all right, let me show you these wounds, right? Because it brings authenticity that I was hurt.
Right.
So what they did the other night was they showed us all their wounds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they know, wasn't nobody hiding their hands. I forgot about the part, because listen, what Avery is referring to is when they got on stage. We're talking about Alfred and Roz Warren. Roz moved over farther, and Alfred would have been sitting right beside me. He didn't say move. He just kind of directed, grabbed her hand gracefully,
Yeah.
moved her between us, sat down. First question I asked them, she looked at him
Yeah.
to see, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first? He didn't. This is all eye contact. There ain't no
Right.
words happening right now. Then he looked at her and nodded his head like, go ahead. And the magic started in that moment.
Right.
Mhm.
And for the most part, I was in awe.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And you even helped set the stage because you were the bridge
Mhm.
between the singles conversation and the married conversation.
Yeah.
Because there are times I feel, and we talked about this privately, that sometimes that relationship dynamic can be unhealthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like me,
Yeah.
and when I say unhealthy, as a single man, I'm not going to the strip club with my married home. I don't like going. I'm not going to. I mean, not that I go to the strip. I'm just not telling on myself. But I'm just saying certain places I'm not going where single people hanging out with my married
Right.
partner.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because some
Right.
of my number one, I don't want your wife thinking I'm the bad guy. Because you know what's
Mhm.
gonna happen 9 times out of 10, they're
Right.
gonna assume I have you out.
Right. Right. And let me say this, Jane. I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead.
this publicly too, because that's the one thing that me and you have talked about, and that's what I appreciate about you, is that you're not gonna let me do anything that would damage the relationship I have with her to cover me. And that's
Mm.
what a real friend does. In your wrong, I'm gonna correct you.
Yeah.
And so I just want to tell you that I appreciate that about you, man.
But man, I haven't always been like that. You see what I'm saying? If a child goes to the stove and puts his hand on a hot stove, they probably not gonna touch that stove again
Right.
because the last time they touched it, it got hot. Now, Corey, why do you think I had that mirror on stage?
Mm. So people can look in it. It's a
Because
reflection of yourself.
and when you look in the mirror, what do you see?
A reflection of
You
yourself.
see a reflection of yourself. And that's what it took for me
Mm.
was to see a reflection of myself and learn from that. Now, at a certain point, I think they say that what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over, expecting the same result. A
Doing the
different
same
result.
thing
Yeah,
over again, expecting
different
different,
result.
as you said, different
Different
results.
results. Yeah.
Yeah. But so why would I continue to do so if I know what messed me up and mess mine up,
Right.
but I'm gonna help you mess yours up?
Right.
No, bro.
Right.
I can do
This ain't what
bad
you
by
want, huh?
myself. I'm gonna do bad by myself and let you go ahead and do your own thing. You can get your own, you're a grown man, you can get your own, pick your own poison, do your thing. I like me. So I could be alone. I'll have no problem being alone at the house by myself. I got TV,
Yeah.
I got computer, I got food, I got a cell phone, I got a bed, I mean, whatever. So I don't have to be validated by hanging out with people like that. So listen, I forgot to ask y'all about 40 minutes ago to start sharing. Well, how long we been on? Oh, 28 minutes. I forgot to ask y'all to share this. So if you would share this. Now listen, if you're watching this in Stu Nation, because it's a private group, you can't share it. So a lot of times I see people asking, why can't I share it? Well, that's why. If you go to my personal page, James H. Kirkland II, now there you can share it. All right. So let's keep going. Avery, what would you like to see happen different next time?
That I'm not on call and have to leave when Corey and the singles come up so I can hear what they were talking about. Man, you're gonna need a bigger space. That's about it. That's about
And
it.
let me
Everybody's
apologize.
saying that.
No.
Let me
And I'm not
apologize.
saying, and let me say this.
No.
I'm not saying,
He's saying
Yeah,
there's more
yeah.
coming.
I'm
Yeah,
right.
no.
That's the
I'm
point
apologizing for something else. I'm apologizing because I didn't know it was a concert and it wasn't gonna be no parking. Okay. Because a lot of people came. Well, two things messed up. Number one, I put the wrong address on the flyer. I put an extra 1. I can't see that little font sometimes, man. That's why I guess I got to get somebody else to do it. So I put 1108 instead of 108. So that's my bad. And second thing is Lecrae and all those were in concert at Simmons Bank. So they took all the parking. So a lot of people, some people, I ain't gonna say a lot, some people were driving around, and because they couldn't find parking spots, they left. I paid $14 to park because I didn't feel like looking for a parking spot. You understand what I'm saying? So but no, we thank Chris and Brother McAdoo, for giving us that space, letting us use that space because it was beautiful, very intimate spot.
Right.
It was super, super nice. It was super nice. Only problem I had was the parking, but beyond that, it was cool. Hold on, y'all. Superstar Ricky is in the house. Let's see what Superstar Ricky talking about. Let's see what Superstar talking about. What's up, Ricky?
What's up, bro? I was sitting in the bed and I seen you were streaming. It took me a while to determine if I was gonna even get on here or not, man.
You had to
Yeah,
get on there
right.
because you made that crazy statement talking about being with anything.
Ricky, he was about to turn it out.
Look, Ricky said men would cheat with anything. And so I said, no, you speak for yourself.
No. See, now let me tell you this. I put the comment down in the thing, but here's where I'm coming from when I say that. And to be honest, when I say that, some men have grown. But what I'm saying is I'm quite sure a lot of women who may have been cheated on or certain things will tell you that the man cheated. A lot of times men don't cheat up. They don't get somebody better than the spouse that they're with or whoever they got. They cheat down. And a lot of times you cheat or do something. I mean, you really not cheating. I can speak for myself and sometimes I cheated. That girl really ain't had nothing on the person I was with. She might have did something to make me feel comfortable or something else. So, and that's what I mean by that sometimes, Sometimes you may go out because this girl she may not even be on your level. She may not even be what you need, but because she makes you feel comfortable and what you're not getting at home, you may go do that.
That's right.
I really understood that. I understand. But this is my thing, Rick, and you just started hanging around me, and I got a feeling you like a little brother to me, so I feel like we're gonna hang around each other a little bit more. So
yes, sir.
My only thing, and Avery, a little older than I am, I'm just very cautious about using absolute statements. That's the only thing, because like I said, for some people, life is just black and white. You know what I'm saying? They only see it either this way or that way. Some people see color. You know what I'm saying? They can see a whole spectrum. I probably see gray, somewhere right between black and white and somewhere in color, right? But I do understand that since God made us anatomically with different fingerprints, that we can all have different perspectives, different ideologies, different habits, different practices. I ain't cheating with just anything.
Okay, now let me ask you a question when you say
and I ain't cheating down. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not going to. I ain't messing with nobody.
You going all the way, huh?
I ain't, huh?
You going all the way, huh? You gonna cheat up?
Well, I ain't cheating. First of all, you don't try to get me caught up.
That's
very good hearing. Yeah, but if I am gonna cheat, I'm not going.
It's gonna be worth the time, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be worth it. I ain't gonna be messing with a little scallywag that's gonna, just made me feel good. Life is too bigger than feelings. But that's not the subject of Mad Hand tonight. Huh? Go ahead, Coy.
He said she might have been giving him something that he wasn't getting.
I don't give a flip. I'm sorry.
And like I said, but here's the thing. Like I said, this is what I'm stating too, because as you grow, you lose, you realize your value, and you may not. I'm quite sure all of us. I don't say all. See, I like this. I speak in general. You said, man, I don't like to be categorized. But listen, and this is what I look at it as, because if I'm not the problem, I got to speak for what the problem is. And so you have to address what the problem that men or women are facing. It may not apply to you. It may not apply to me. But I only can tell what's going on. That's why I'm able to understand. Gotcha. I think a lot of men and women got skeletons in their closet. They wouldn't release and say, "Oh, I gave this person the time of day." I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, then at that point, you would do. And sometimes it might have been I had a drunk night back when I was in the world. I had, and I wouldn't have never gave her this time of day. So that's why I say, when I say men would cheat, I mean, that's part of what I'm saying. Now, as you grow and understand the value of what you have, those things I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? But I only can address the problem. That's the only thing I was saying, bro.
Gotcha.
That was it.
All right, well, let's leave that conversation going. That's a subject for another show.
Yes,
Tonight
sir.
we're talking about what you saw on Saturday night. What made you drive from Pine Bluff, Arkansas? Now you ain't gotta tell everybody where we met at. They ain't nobody's business.
I wasn't
But
finna tell you
nobody's
that.
business. Yeah, they ain't nobody's business.
But
But tell me what made you what about me made you drive from Pine Bluff? You know, I mean, based on how I told you about the event, all those things. What made you come?
because like I told you, just the meeting, you know, how the conversation and the interaction we had, it was genuine. Just even the bringing up of the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Just talking about it and then the discussions and how you laid it out to me, you know what I'm saying? I was just felt like I told you Saturday night, you know, like I felt like that was just divine intervention for us to meet each other. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I'm gonna tell you another thing. My partner called me as soon as he got off the phone with him. He said, "Hey man, I just want to let you know, man. My partner James called and did a background check on you.
Oh
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? That let me know right then that you was about business, that you wasn't gonna put anything together. You know what I'm saying? So that alone let me know that, man, I'm gonna be a part of this because you know most people don't even do that. You didn't know me. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I would have canceled.
From
Bro,
nothing.
if he'd have told me something bad, I would have canceled you so quick. I'd have called you and said, "Hey, bro, we don't need your
Ooh,
services. I don't mean no harm." My brand means
just
a
like
lot
the
to
church
me.
folks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but no, but I understand what he's saying. And then even like I said, at the end of the day, he didn't know me. We
yeah,
actually met on Sunday last week.
yeah,
And it's just like we had been knowing each other, you know what I'm saying, for more than a week.
yeah.
You see what I'm
And we
saying?
and
So
we
like I
talked and we talked during the course of the week,
yeah,
and he didn't know it, Coy, but I was asking very investigative questions in a subtle way. You know, I would package them because I needed to know where you are. You know, first of all, I got to make sure you like both, make sure you like women. You know what I'm saying? And I got to make sure, you know, the few things I got to, what your perspective is on relationships, how many children you have, you know, who are they with, you know, or do you take care of them? All those things, you know, I was asking in indirect ways, you know, and he didn't know it probably, but I was, and he stayed persistent because I ain't gonna lie, I was waiting on him to say I ain't gonna be able to make it. I was waiting on
nah.
him to say I'm gonna chicken out, you know, or something because I've had that happen, you know. But he wrote it out, and I appreciate that. So when you got there and you saw it, Ricky, what was it? Did it exceed your expectations? Is it what you expected? Tell the
Like I
people
said,
what you
yeah,
saw.
like I said, I seen a well put together venue. Everything you said that was gonna be there was there. And I'm like what Brother Avery said, man, you're gonna need a bigger spot the next time, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I think you know the next one you do is really gonna be just that much better. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna need some room. You're gonna need some more room. I mean, I see this thing going somewhere, probably bigger than what you can see, because what you put together was well put together, man. And how you presented the people you chose was you know what I'm saying? It was just great. And like I told you, know, so I enjoyed whether I'm on the panel or not. I'm coming.
Gotcha.
I'm
I
gonna be there
appreciate
to support you. You know what I'm saying? So, like
I
I said,
appreciate
it was good, man.
that. Gotcha. Man, and let me pivot right here to say thank you to my team because the team jumped in. I have a very unique leadership style. I don't do a whole lot of meetings. I just ask certain people for what I want, or I tell them what I need, or I put one person in charge and y'all direct. Kiki, my cousin Kiki, she was on it. Her friend Netta, I ain't know Netta, but Netta know Kiki, and Netta want to help Kiki. You know what I'm saying? Now Netta like me too, so we now we really working together, right? I mean, Jacqueline, Avery. I didn't know Jacqueline from Adam, right? But when I told her I was doing an event, she said, "Ooh, can I get the food?" Asked me what I wanted and sent it. All she did was send me a receipt saying it was paid in full. You know what I'm saying? Bro, Vincent came in, made sure my sound was right, you know, made sure everything was good. Came up the day before, just made sure that, you know, we knew the hotspot wasn't going to work, prepared for damage so we could have damage control, all that stuff. Working perfectly, man. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all came, even Lakeisha Reynolds, Lakeisha made sure the automation was on point. So when you all registered, then you got your tickets in your phone, your QR code, and you were able to come and scan the tickets right then, you know, and all that. And then she's meeting you with a smile all that. Even Netta getting the backdrop. Some of y'all didn't take a picture on the backdrop, and if you did, please tag me in those pictures. Tag me in those pictures. But they made sure the atmosphere was right. Cora, how did you feel when you walked in that room?
You know what? When I walked in there, it was just easy. I felt very comfortable. It wasn't like negative energy. It was great energy in that place, and I was very relaxed when I walked in. I didn't know what to expect walking in, but when I walked in, I was like, okay, wow. I just felt like I was at home,
Paint a picture of the room for people, Avery. Tell them that those that weren't there, tell them how the space was kind of moved out, what all was available, and tell them how much it cost. Last time. Make sure you say last time.
Last
Next
time.
time it's gonna be different.
How much would it cost? See?
Being able to come to the event.
Oh, it was free. And man, look. Man, you can't even hardly walk in nobody's house without giving them $10. Man, it was free.
And when they serve you food and liquor.
I think Coy said it earlier. It was just so intimate. It was like you were walking in somebody's house, and the vibe was just perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
My certified mixologist was on.
Yeah.
You hear me? My certified mixologist was on.
Tony. Yeah.
And everybody was. It felt like everybody, even though we didn't know each other, it felt like everybody knew each other.
Right.
Even in the differences of opinions, and everybody was still courteous. And it was. That's what I guess makes it. Everybody just. It's like it was family in the room. If I could make it any clearer than that, it's like everybody was family.
Right.
In the room.
I'm just mad I didn't get no meatballs to go. Those meatballs was on point.
And it was good. And James, I do have to say, when you brought me up and you was telling me how you don't have to worry about me being in inboxes and all that. Now I do have to confess I did get in Coy inbox today because I was upset I didn't get a chance to meet her because I had to go. And I didn't realize who she was until I got up there. And I go, Coy.
I don't get speechless often, but I did. So we had food, y'all. We had liquor. I gave away so much. Nice. I don't drink it, so I couldn't take it home. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't ever, but I ain't take it. It was too much to take home. If I probably should have took it over my parents' house and saved it for next time. But whoever I gave it to, y'all just enjoy it. So
bring it back for next time, y'all.
No, they trust me. They're gonna drink that liquor is gone. And Tony is a Hennessyologist. So, so trust me, as a Hennessyologist, Tony is gonna make sure that liquor is out of here, Coach. I wish he was on right now. I'm trying to text him, but Hennessy is definitely a Hennessyologist, So
that's funny.
Yeah. So no,
there was food.
You said what now?
Liquor, drinks. Yeah. Everything was. Everybody was catered to, basically.
Yeah. And that's what I wanted them to feel. Coy, when I talked to you about this in the beginning, even you, Avery, when I talked to you, I told you that I wanted to paint a picture of us giving. Didn't I say that?
Mm-hmm.
I said I wanted to paint a picture. Even when I had my church in Dalton back in the day, we used to have an event called Praise in the Park every year. And I never let anybody pay for anything. Mm-hmm. In year one, there was 75 people there. In year four, was over 1,000 people there. I never charged. I got an NAACP Community Commitment Award because it was a man 45 years old that had never rode a horse. Well, I had free horseback riding. And that impacted his life. Now, I can't keep doing that. That's why I got to have a team around me to make sure I don't give everything away. That's what happens.
Don't say you can't keep doing it. Don't say you can't keep doing it because as the more you give, the more God will put people in your life.
Okay, I'm gonna say it again. I can't keep doing that. Now I'm gonna do it in some capacity.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm a giver. I'm a giver by nature, so I'm gonna give. But sometimes you have to give when it makes sense as well. You know what I'm saying? And this wasn't a bad thing, like I said. But I did want to show people what's possible. and I wanted to show them how it can happen in an intimate setting. Some people might have needed a little oil, as you call it, to loosen up, because at a certain point in that room, Coy, I didn't prepare. I didn't plan on doing a mic toss, as we called it, but the room got so intimate and so deep that next thing you know, everybody was wanting to say something.
Yeah,
so
and that's not normal. You know, it's so many people that will not speak at all.
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody was so comfortable with speaking or telling their story or asking their questions. It was just nice. It was really nice.
Yeah, it was special. It was special. Like I said, everybody, and I owe Jesse an apology because I didn't really answer his question. So I'm going to go back and make sure that I really listen to what he said, so I can go back and pick up his question, because I don't like to leave anybody confused. And if I left Jesse, if you're listening, if I left you confused, didn't answer your question, I apologize for that, and I'll try to fix it within the next few days. I'll try to fix it in the next few days. Anything else y'all noticed that I might have missed?
Not that I can think of.
Nothing else. All right. So Avery, what do we do? I know you said we got to have a little bit bigger venue next time, but other than that, man, what do you think about the time limit? Because we were right at about 2 hours.
Man, if you have good conversation, people, the time doesn't matter with some people, you know. Because man,
what about intermission? What about intermissions in between conversations?
But the flow was perfect.
That's because
if you do an intermission, you break that
That's
flow.
right.
The way you did it was just perfect.
Yeah.
And then I like when Rick, Rick was when he was standing on business. You know what I'm talking? When he was standing on business. That was a great.
Rick
because
was
it was like
ready to jump on board.
Even though it was impromptu, it was almost like it was planned. You know what I'm saying? So everything just kind of connected. It just connected, man. It was perfect.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. I was in awe. I still got to maintain my integrity. I guess so certain things I'm just not gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Certain images I'm not gonna portray. But for the most part, it was cool. And everybody that was involved, they seemed to be satisfied, and I'm cool with that. Man, Pastor Roz and Alfred, I see that they're making themselves available for other people, for other podcasts, because they got a ministry that helps people, and I appreciate that. I told Avery and I are going to do segments about him as a married man being a mentor to some single men. I've told him that. Have I put that charge on you, Avery?
Yes, sir.
I put it on him, because we have to be better big brothers. Yeah. We have to be better big brothers. We got to be better big sisters. Coy said something powerful a minute ago. Women should be telling women. Men should be telling men. Danny Michon. I mean, we ain't talked about her yet. Yeah. But Danny,
right.
With that whole representative post. And I asked, the people, when men were arguing with her or debating her, and I said, who did you write that post to? Coy, what did she say? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
She said, she said, as a seasoned older.
Oh, yeah. To us, basically. And she was going off of her experience, what she had experienced.
She was talking to younger women.
So she helped other women. Yeah.
And that was so powerful. And it was so pure, because it was honest.
Yeah.
The premise was honest.
Right.
It was honest.
It was a good post.
Huh?
It was a good post. So.
Yeah, the post was amazing. And like I said, and I don't see how you would want to be offended by something like that. But some people are. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm thankful. And I look forward to doing it again. So here it is. Kiki and Netta and all of them, they're already getting ready to working on the next venue.
Ready.
They started planning that night. So they're already working on the next venue. They're in charge. If they set the price, they set the price. They find the venue, they find the venue. I'll get the content. I'll bring community. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me alliterate this like a good preacher, Avery. Let me alliterate this like a good preacher. I'll get the content. I'll bring the company. We'll make sure the conversation is tight. And when we get through all these characteristics are going to be conducive for some constructive conversation. Oh, I did that thing. That was tough. Oh my God, I lost it almost. I thought I was gonna lose it. See, I had to stay on that alliteration, my man. That's the preacher to me. I ain't gonna never let that part go, for real, for real. But I had fun, man. I had real fun. I let my hair down that night. But it's gonna be fun, man. I probably won't be wearing t-shirts next time. I'm probably gonna dress it up a little bit more next time. But I'm gonna let the team say. I'm gonna let the team do. I'm gonna let them do it when they tell me what they want to do. As long as it ain't nothing outrageous, as long as they don't have no male strippers or nothing like that, then we'll be all right.
Can I say this though? If
What's
you
that?
do have me, I'm a size medium, small,
Okay.
medium.
Oh, you
I like to wear
way.
I like my stuff to fit me a little bit. So yeah,
y'all young fellas like to wear them medium shirts. Y'all want to show y'all abs and all that kind of stuff. I don't want no pants on. I don't want no pants on. I can see the date of the quarter. I don't want no more kids, but I don't want them to stop me from having if I had to. I'm let the little joker swim.
Yeah.
Let them swim. I ain't got time to be. No, for real. I'm joking. I'm not. But I am eternally grateful to all of you all. Everyone, all of y'all were there. Coy, you brought Erica with you. Man, that was amazing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Coy,
Didn't I,
she came
Ricky?
all the way from Orlando.
Erica with you.
Yes,
Lord. Yes, Lord.
Got flights, rental car, all that stuff to come support me. And I appreciate that. I really do. So I'm asking you all,
Any
please,
day.
ma'am, please, sir. You got some?
No, I said any day.
Okay. But yeah, I'm asking y'all continue to share this platform. If it's blessing you, tell somebody else about it. Sure, Coy shares all my stuff. All my stuff. She might not get a like when she shares it, but she still shares it. You know, they'll still see it.
One click.
But if it blesses you, it'll probably bless somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if it blesses somebody else, then we can really start this process of reconstructing community, man. And that's all I'm trying to do. Is I'm really trying to rebuild community. I'm trying to build the bonds between all of us, right? Make us all stronger. Because at the end of the day, we're stronger together,
right? Yeah.
Than we are apart. And most of the stuff that we debate over can be rectified with a simple conversation. And that's all I want to do is keep having conversations. So we're looking at May, and on that May, a couple of different things can happen. I've already ran this by my friend Corey. Number one, we'll be doing our book release that day. We're gonna launch it that day. I'm gonna hold up my launch, Avery, until that day. And then the other thing we'll be doing is we'll be sharing in our third 3-year anniversary. The Intellectual Stew will have been in existence for 3 years. So here we are, and I'm looking forward to it. So we're gonna have a wonderful time on that night. And if Saturday night was the bar and we exceed the bar, man, I can only imagine how amazing it's going to be. All right, I'm gonna let everybody close. Rick, what you got to say before we get out of here?
Man, I ain't got nothing to say,
encouraging
really.
words or
I would like, well, yeah, what y'all talking about with Mr. Avery, when you get to where you mentoring and all that, let me know. Because even though everything I've been through, you know, in life, I have gained wisdom and knowledge to help young men. I also need, you know, the knowledge. You've been married 32 years. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And so to learn something from you would be good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna find you and keep in contact with you as well. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, but like I said, James, brother, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Right.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Don't stop. Keep me informed on what you're doing. That way, if there's anything you need from me, I'll be there. Coy, it's good meeting you. I see you, the immune wellness. You know, you got this going on. So I'm gonna have to tap in with you and see what you got going on.
Awesome.
Community. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
All right, Ricky, we'll see you, man.
All right, man.
Good night, my friend.
Good night, Ricky.
All right, Avery, give me your final words before we get out of here.
Man, keep the conversation. Somebody's listening. That's it. A lot of times, I know with what you're doing, it may seem as though you may be spinning your wheels at time, but somebody's listening. And whether it's today or whether it's next year, what you're saying is going to impact and change the life of someone. So just keep it coming. Just keep it coming. And Coy, it was good to see you.
It was good seeing you too, Avery.
I'll make sure I'm not on call in May, Jane.
Well, you ain't gonna know if people gonna get sick, bro. You can't do nothing. You gotta do what you gotta do, and I appreciate that, though, man. You made it.
Hey, that's medicine.
Yes, you made it. I had, you know, how many people called me and told me that I can't make it or I didn't. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're not there. I don't mind. I'm not mad at you. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm focused.
Yeah.
This is like sermon prep for me. You know what I'm saying? And I had some people call me right before telling me I can't come. Okay. You know what I mean? I get it. I appreciate you. And I know you're trying to be nice. I get it, but I'm focused. And when I get focused, that's where I'm at. All right, Avery, you out.
All right.
Let me say good night.
Good night, Avery.
All right. Good night. Good night. Good night.
All right, Coy, talk to me.
I'm going to keep it short and simple. I am looking forward to part 2. Everybody at the event was saying, what about a part 2? So I'm like, yeah, it's going to be part 2. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to May.
You coming back in May?
Yeah, if it's the right time now. I got some travel booked out, but
Don't do
yeah.
the first part of May.
First part.
First
Okay.
part of May, yeah. First or second week, hopefully. All right. Thank you, baby. Talk to you later.
All right, good.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to. She said good night. I cut her out. My bad, y'all. I didn't mean to. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm out. I appreciate you all. Little Rock. What's your name again? Carmen. Carmen, thank you for letting me use the Studio 62. That's what we are tonight. Studio 62 reporting live. Y'all like the gold and all that kind of stuff? I like it. So when I come to town, guess what? I got somewhere to record. I appreciate that. Now listen, I say it every time. I'll see you next week. But if I don't ever see you again, remember this. The world is changing. My question for you is, why do you remain the same? Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Intellectual stew.